Greetings and welcome. This is Rajiv Makni. The show, of course, is Cell Guru, and today we're going to do an incredible amount of magic on the show. So you've heard of folding phones. How about a rollable phone? Yes, the screen actually rolls. Then we'll move on to Samsung's M32. Under 15,000, is this the best? Then the OnePlus Nord CE. We'll compare it to 3 or 4 phones in the same price bracket. A quick look at the iPhone 12 mini in purple and a game review, Battlegrounds Mobile India. So let's get started with today's show. Of course, before we get started with all of that, all the news coming in from the world of mobiles.
It is my promise that Jio Phone Next will be, by far, the most affordable smartphone, not just in India, but globally. Jio Phone Next.
This is the Jio Phone built in collaboration with Google that Reliance will launch on the 10th of September. The price will be announced later. Pitched as the world's most affordable 4G smartphone, the Jio Phone Next aims to board 300 million plus users who are currently on feature phones. The Jio Phone Next with Google integrates features like language translation, read aloud features into the operating system so that the first-time users don't need to download them. South Korean tech giant Samsung is gearing for the launch of 2 new foldable phones this year: the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and Z Flip 3. Ahead of the official unveiling, the devices have been spotted on US and India's certification websites. If leaks are to be believed, the upcoming foldables could have an under-display camera, S Pen support and a lower price tag.
So like I told you, we're going to do some incredible magic on the show. This phone came to us a few days back, not with me right now, but we did have an amazing time with it. You've heard of foldable phones. How about a phone whose screen actually rolls? So rolls inside, and when it rolls out, it expands the screen by just double clicking the power button, and it becomes pretty big. There's no crease when it's unfolded because it's not folding. The magic is how the content adjusts itself on the flexible OLED panel. There's a moving mechanism with 2 motors underneath. So it's all motorized. You're not unfolding or folding with your hands. And the engineering of this phone is actually quite amazing. Now, I'm not sure whether this phone is going to remain a concept. Will it come out? Because, the motorized part of it, it takes a lot of battery to open and to close the whole thing. So how many times in a day will you actually be doing that? But like I said, incredible engineering. For instance, there's a 2-in-1 plate that supports the screen and prevents it from collapsing inwards. Think about it. When it's unrolling or rolling out, how does it really work? And the experience working with a phone like this is quite amazing. Like I said, it's a lot of magic.
Technology is constantly moving forward, but significant leaps only come once every few years. If the last few years of smartphones have started feeling a bit stale to you, Oppo has something unique up its sleeve that could change the smartphone user experience forever. At first glance, the Oppo X 2021 rollable phone looks like any other smartphone, and that's by intention. This is a smartphone that is designed to seamlessly adapt to how you use your phone instead of making the user adapt to it. Unlock the phone, swipe, scroll and use it as you like. But the real magic happens when you swipe up the power button. You will hear 2 motors spin up simultaneously as the OLED panel gradually slides out of the frame. The phone magically expands, and the next thing you know, you are holding a tablet in your hands. Yes, it looks like something straight out of a science fiction movie. Oppo's deep software customizations shine here as on-screen elements transform to match the expanded dimensions. Text reflows seamlessly and images expand to fit the larger screen. The Oppo X 2021 has a 6.7-inch display in its standard configuration, but it goes all the way to 7.4 inches when expanded. On paper, this is just 0.7-inch increase. However, the increase in diagonal size means that you are getting almost 50% more screen space. In fact, when expanded, the Oppo X 2021 falls just short of an iPad mini, and you truly have a small tablet in your hand. Thanks to the OLED screen, the reading experience on the Oppo X 2021 is exemplary, and the use of a rollable screen instead of a foldable means that you don't get any unsightly crease as is common on foldable smartphones. Worried about scratches, the company has added a special laminate layer on top that it claims help reduce damage to the display. That said, we would have liked to see ultra-thin glass here like on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2. There's even a plate behind the screen that helps prevent possible damage. Additionally, Oppo's rollable phone has several advantages over foldable. For one, despite being a fairly thick piece of kit at 10.7 mm, it is still much slimmer than foldable phones, which, as you would have guessed, fold up like a stack of phones. The rolling mechanism also affords fresh use cases. The screen can be dynamically rolled or unrolled to any size to fit a game, movie, or app content. That said, the Oppo X 2021 rollable concept is, as the name suggests, a concept phone, and the company has a few issues to tackle before the phone is ready for prime time. For one, the motors that unroll the device are very loud. Additionally, they put a significant strain on battery life. Finally, Oppo still needs to find a way to add a fingerprint scanner and front-facing camera to the rollable phone. However, as it stands, the Oppo X 2021 rollable phone is a stunning look into the future of smartphones. What's here works well, and rollable devices are poised to transform not just how we use phones, but create fresh and unique use cases.
Let's move on now to our next story, the Samsung M32, under 15,000 rupees, big hype, but it's a plastic build, so not so premium. Teardrop notch again, feels a little outdated. Headphone jack is there, expandable storage is there. Amazing 6.4-inch AMOLED display, 90Hz display, 800 nits brightness, MediaTek G80 with 4 GB of RAM, quad camera, 6,000 mAh battery, 15-watt charger. It's the not so good part, like I said. Starting price 14,999, but in a very competitive environment, is this one of the best phones under 15,000 rupees?
If you get the basics right, everything falls into place. Without much hoo-ha, Samsung introduced the Galaxy M32 in the market, a neat phone with a focus on bringing a great display under 15,000 without compromising on battery life and optics. But is it the best Android you can buy in this super competitive segment? Let's find out. Samsung Galaxy M32 comes with a polycarbonate build which feels good to touch. We like the form factor of the phone as well, owing to its rounded edges on the sides that make it comfortable to hold. Kudos to Samsung as the Galaxy M32 comes with expandable storage via a micro SD card slot, which have become a rarity in the market. The display is where Galaxy M32 beams ahead. With its 6.4-inch AMOLED Full HD Plus panel, the images produced are sharp and bright. The colors are punchy and saturated, which makes consuming media on the M32 an absolute bliss. With a peak brightness of 800 nits, using the phone outdoors under sunlight isn't a problem. However, the teardrop notch makes the screen look dated. Moving on to the hardware, the Samsung Galaxy M32 is powered by an octa-core MediaTek G80 processor with 4 or 6 GB RAM. The variant with us packs in 4 GB, and as expected, the performance was snappy. The app launches were quick and daily tasks were handled with ease. The experience was further enhanced by a fast 90Hz refresh rate, which makes scrolling content more satisfying. Heavy mobile gaming is not ideal on this device, but we did manage to get decent frame rates with no major heating issues. It is best if users stick to occasional gaming sessions on this one. Samsung Galaxy M32 features a quad camera setup which includes a 64-megapixel primary sensor, 8-megapixel ultra-wide, 2-megapixel macro and depth cameras. Images from the primary sensor are clear and sharp under daylight conditions, but sometimes end up oversaturating the colors. The ultra-wide is decent at capturing landscape and more people in a frame, but we noticed fringing and distortion on the edges of the images. We would like to see a dedicated telephoto lens instead of these obligatory macro and depth lenses which produce average shots at best. The 20-megapixel selfie camera churns out good-looking shots with great detail. Samsung's One UI has come leaps and bounds in terms of software refinement and optimization. Out of the box, Samsung Galaxy M32 runs on Android 11, although it still comes with a lot of pre-installed apps, but we do have an option to uninstall. The company is also promising 4 years of security updates, which is a welcome move. The M lineup is known for a monstrous battery, and this one is no different. There is a 6000 mAh battery on board that easily lasted more than a day even with heavy usage. The phone supports 25 watt, but it comes bundled with a 15 watt charger in the box, which is a bummer. The Galaxy M32 is priced starting at Rs 14,999 for 4GB and Rs 16,999 for the 6GB variant. The Selguru verdict: with an excellent display and a monstrous battery, Samsung brings a strong contender in the under 15,000 segment. However, the 6GB variant faces tough competition from the Poco X3 Pro and Redmi Note 10 Pro, as they offer more for the price.
Last week, we reviewed the OnePlus Nord CE 5G. So we said at that time, lower price, but is it actually a better phone? And what about the competition at this price? So you all wanted this story. So we'll compare the Nord CE 5G to the Mi 10i and the Poco X3 Pro. And remember, when we do comparisons, we go into extreme detail. So we'll talk about display, looks, battery, performance. All of these things are very, very important. And we'll also take a look at, finally, in terms of just the owning experience, which one just comes out better.
There is a problem of plenty in the mid-range segment. Some focus on power, others on imaging, and yet others on value. The latest entrant to have dealt its card in its crowded segment is OnePlus with its affordable but premium Nord CE 5G. To many, this is the new mid-range killer. But to prove its mettle, the CE 5G has to go head-to-head with established all-rounders like the Mi 10i, Poco X3 Pro in the sub-25,000 segment. The battle for the king of mid-rangers is on. Let's find out which phone wears the crown. First thing first, the OnePlus Nord CE 5G is a well-designed phone. What we are not a fan of though is the plastic build with shades of purple hue towards the sides. It almost feels like the CE 5G is begging for attention and is a little too flashy in our opinion. What OnePlus did right was bringing back the headphone jack, but loses out on the trademark OnePlus Alert slider, which is a bummer. The Poco X3 Pro also shares the same plastic build, but it has a textured back panel that feels good to touch. Among the three, only the Mi 10i has a glass back and earns our vote for the best design in this comparison. Up front, all three come with a big, bright display, which makes consuming any type of media a delight, but there are some key differences. The CE 5G comes with a 6.4-inch AMOLED display, whereas both the Mi 10i and Poco X3 Pro come with a larger 6.67-inch IPS screen, which makes using the screen a tad bit tiring. We preferred the screen on the CE for its colors and vibrancy, but a 90Hz refresh is hard to ignore when the competition is far ahead at 120Hz. And to add more trouble to the misery, the CE misses out on Gorilla Glass protection, which makes the device even more fragile. Inside, both the CE 5G and Mi 10i come with a Snapdragon 750G, whereas the Poco X3 Pro comes equipped with the Snapdragon 860. Performance is fast and brisk on all three as expected, with no noticeable lags to be found in our time testing. User experience on a device plays an important role, and this is where OnePlus CE 5G scores brownie points. With its clean UI and bloat-free software, this would be our pick of the lot. We are also happy to report that gaming performance is on par on all of them with no frame drops or heating issues. Good camera performance is something people care about, but do not associate with mid-range smartphones. This is where things take an interesting turn. The Mi 10i packs a huge 108 megapixel primary sensor which takes crystal sharp images with good dynamic range. The colors are balanced with a good amount of saturation. It would be hard pressed to see this kind of image quality at this price. Both the OnePlus Nord CE 5G and Poco X3 Pro comes with a 64 and 48 megapixel primary sensor which captures good images if given adequate lighting. Obligatory macro and depth cameras are also found on all three, but it's nothing to write home about. Moving on to the battery. All three pack a healthy sized battery pack, with the Poco X3 Pro coming with a massive 5160 mAh that can easily last a day. Both the Mate N and Poco X3 Pro come with a 33-watt fast charger, whereas the OnePlus Nord CE 5G comes with a 30-watt warp charging. All of them ship with fast chargers in the box. So what's the Cell Guru verdict? The mid-range segment is so competitive now that even established players find it difficult to assert their position. With whatever the CE 5G offers, there is someone who offers more. While the Nord CE 5G offers a more fluid and clean user interface, Mate N has better optics. All three are good options, beating one and another in different areas. We say pick your options based on what you want your smartphone to excel in.
Now let's move on to a very quick story. Interesting story because it's only about color, but color matters, right? The purple iPhone 12 mini. So Apple launched the 12 and the 12 mini in purple color. All the features, of course, remain the same. But for all those who want to make a fashion statement or really like the color purple, this is it.
Summers are here, and that means bright colors, fun wardrobes and accessories to match. And what's a better accessory than the phone in your hand? Earlier this year, Apple showcased the purple iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 mini, a new color option added along with the existing black, blue, green, red and white. We got our hands on the iPhone 12 mini, and this is how it looks in real life. Apple is giving the popular iPhone 12 mini a colorful spin with its new purple edition. A light pastel shade, the new color is perfect to help you make a statement. The beauty of the iPhone 12 mini is the compact 5.4-inch screen that makes it perfect for one-hand use or to easily slip in your pocket. Of course, under the hood, it remains the same powerful iPhone you've come to expect. Despite the bite-sized package, the phone packs the same Apple A14 Bionic chipset as the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro, and that means that no matter what games or apps you throw at it, the phone will handle just fine. You also get the same class-leading cameras to capture your favorite memories. Price starting 69,900 rupees, the iPhone 12 mini in purple is the one to get if purple is your choice of color.
Let's take a quick break right now. When we come back, lots more. Welcome back to the Cell Guru Show. We're going to do a game review now of Battlegrounds Mobile India. This game has started rolling out for people who actually pre-registered. It's actually been a game with a lot of hype. So, less blood, less killing than PUBG is my overall impression, made by the same people who actually made PUBG. So is it the exact same game under a new name?
The PUBG ban in India led Krafton, the South Korean developers of PUBG, to make a new game for its Indian fans. Battlegrounds Mobile India has returned to the world of PUBG, but this time around, enough changes have been made that the game follows all India's rules and regulations. Much of the gameplay remains the same as PUBG, including fan-favorite maps and shooting mechanics. Some of the change include a warning every time you start the game, informing you that yes, you are indeed playing a game and it is not indicative of real life. This is further reinforced over the course of the game, where announcements are often made confirming that you are in a virtual world. Additionally, elements like blood have been switched from red to green, and all references to the word kill are gone. Finally, the game will give you a warning if you're spending too much time playing the game and ask you to hydrate, change your posture or take some rest. Battlegrounds Mobile India started rolling out for those who pre-registered and have now got early access. It is now hosted by Krafton instead of Tencent and is being hosted in India itself. However, it allows you to transfer your progress from PUBG provided you have a Facebook or Twitter login. Unfortunately, you lose all your friends list. Overall, Battlegrounds Mobile India should come as a relief to all the players who have been missing out on PUBG. However, the lack of existing clans and friends groups might put a dampener on it.
That then is the Cell Guru show for this week. But do remember, we've got some epic stuff coming up next week. Some great stuff. Can I tell you what? Okay, let me do a little bit of a tease. The Xiaomi Mi 11 Lite and a whole lot more. I'll see you next week.